Hey everybody, welcome. I'm checking out the Logitech MX Master 4 for business. This is a mouse from Logitech that is coming out soon, and it's got advanced haptics in Windows 11, and I am so excited to start putting it through its paces. One of the things that I've heard that advanced haptics has is some capabilities in Windows, and that it might allow me to do things like take those aren't photos that'll work. Let's just go with a stock image here of a mouse. We'll see if any of these resemble a Logitech mouse. We could also do a picture online, and we can go get a Logitech mouse here. There we go, several different choices. Let's see if we have an MX Master choice. And this will give you a sense for what I'm using. It's very similar to this. It's got three buttons on the side here instead of the two. It's got the vertical and the horizontal scroll wheels. And this is the mouse that I'm using. One of the things that I read about is that it might allow me to do things like use the grid lines within PowerPoint. So if I get my grid lines turned on here, view, grid lines, guides. What I had heard is as you're snapping this to like an alignment in PowerPoint, that it might be able to give you feedback in when you have reached that center area. I'm not feeling that just yet. Just installed PowerPoint to see if I do that. The other thing that I have been feeling with this one is the feedback when I actually go to one of these snap locations and Snap Assist. So in Windows 11, I have Snap Assist in much more than just left and right. That came out in Windows 10. I have like 2/3 and a third, thirds of my window, fourths and kind of a larger area in the middle, and all of these different layouts are available to me. And I'm getting the haptic feedback when I use any of these, which was not working on the first Windows 11 system I used. I think that's because I had some software on that computer, Windows 11, a very early build of the Insiders. This computer here is running the Pro Builder, the Pro Build for, I believe, the beta channel. Let's go check that real quick so I can confidently answer you. I do have experimental features, and I have turned on the feature flag for the taskbar options, but I'm on build number 26,300, 26,300.8553 on this particular computer. So whether I'm in the Canary version or whatever version I'm on Windows 11, it is supporting advanced haptics, both within the right side. So this big thumb pad here is what I can press and bring up the advanced haptics in and my Logi options application. And then this application is where I can go ahead and program my mouse for different functions. So if I want to use my MX Master 4 for different things, I can read about it, and I can look at press the button for the option rings, decide how much haptic feedback I'm getting, and then I can even program the features further. So the actions ring, the gestures, and the different things that I might want to do with that. So spotlight effects are what I originally used Options Plus for. Recently, that's when I hold down my middle mouse button. Supposed to get some options there. Let's see if I can bring those up here. Looks like I'm getting a little bit of a delay here. I'm on so much beta and early access software. I'm always wondering what I have installed that might be causing a conflict. So let's see if Options Plus is still running. Maybe it stopped running. Open it again here. Yeah, I think the software may have just restarted. So we install it, spotlight effects, and then when we hold down the mouse button, we get spotlight effects. There we go. So there's my spotlight focus when I hold down the haptic button. And I can either do that or I can tell it to show the actions ring and then change maybe the middle button to show spotlight effects. And when I hold down the middle button or the wheel, I get the spotlight. And if I want to change the size of the spotlight, making it a little more specific to an area of the screen, I can do so with this. So the advanced haptics work in a number of different places in Windows 11. They work in the Logi Options Plus app. And then I'm also feeling that feedback when I take a window and I use some of the Windows 11 snapping features. On a ARM-based build of, I believe, the same Canary very early Windows Insiders build, I was not feeling the feedback when I used the Windows 11 feature, Snap Assist features. But I'm feeling it here on a 64-bit version of Windows 11 running, again, an early build of Windows 11. So if we zoom in here a little bit and we turn on, see if I can scroll over here to get this minimized. There we go. And up here to my window, I'm on a 25H2 OS build, fairly early of Pro, an Insider build, and I'm getting that haptic feedback when I take a window and I drag it to the top middle of my application. So if we open PowerPoint again here, let's see if we can get my PowerPoint up and running. Where are you, PowerPoint? Where are you hiding? There you are. You're on the far right. We'll go into the previous application windows that I have, and we'll open my most current one. And I think in the most current PowerPoint presentation, I also put a screenshot of the MX Master 4 for business. So here are some of the features, folks, that you're going to get from the MX Master 4 for business. One of the features is this advanced haptics piece, which is up here in the upper right. Receive gentle haptic reminders for battery and connectivity updates. You can set up timers. So if I have a presentation and I've been given 5 minutes, I can get timer information from my mouse. I get quiet clicks, max speed scrolling, and we get fast charging as well. USB-C quick charge in 1 minute for 3 hours of use. And I've got a Type-C dongle for the Logi Bolt. And then it's Intel Pro, vPro certified, Zoom certified, works with Chromebook, and it's working on multiple OSs. So I'm using Windows 11 and playing around with the Snap Assist. This weekend, I'll play around with Mac OS. I could use this on Chrome OS, Linux, or Android as well. And we can also customize the app with Logi Tune. Options Plus is what I used for it, but it looks like Logi Tune also has some customization features available for the mouse. You'll also notice that my taskbar in Windows 11 is on the left side of my screen. I just was talking to a colleague that not only likes the potential of moving the taskbar, but really appreciates the feature of being able to take their taskbar. So if we search for taskbar here, and instead of centering the taskbar, moving the taskbar to the left, if it's at the top of the screen or at the bottom of the screen. I like having the start menu start to the left. Well, if you do it to the left or the right, I have only used the left personally. Instead of center, you have the option of top. So it's actually at the top of your screen or the left of your screen are the options besides center. So you can customize these things in this new build of Windows 11. That's what I'm running here. And first impressions of the MX Master 4. It was easy to set up. It came with some instructions. It came with the Logi Bolt connector here. So if I remove that, here's my Logi Bolt connector. And I can use this instead of having to use the basically the Bluetooth pairing. So I can use either of those. If I look at my settings and Bluetooth devices on this computer, I've got my MX Master, I've got my Lift, and my Surface keyboard so far paired to it. If I take my other USB devices here, let's see if I've got a port open. I believe I do. For another USB-C device. Let's plug this in here. Let's see if we can get my Logi headset set up here. This supports Bluetooth. And we'll see if it's using my headset. It looks like it's still setting up the headset, but hopefully you're still able to hear me in the StreamYard stream here. So we'll see if my headset got set up here. Looks like I'm still using my speakers from my computer. So hopefully the audio is still crystal clear for folks. And the probably easiest way to test this would be to check out the live stream here. So let me hop over to the live stream. Bear with me a moment, folks. I see if I can get that set up. That'll let me know if everything's working from an audio perspective. Okay, we're going to go in and see if we're getting audio right now. There we go.
It'll let me know if everything.
Awesome. Okay, so I still have audio. And I also just noticed that I've got a ton of attention on my profile. Wow. Okay, so I just had a viral post about the new LinkedIn game. My posts have been, lucky to hit 3,000, 4,000. I just had a post that went to 183,000 people. And it looks like there was 57 engagements so far. So I wonder if one of those engagements was from the person that I just met that is a LinkedIn top voice, or the last time this happened with a viral post, LinkedIn themselves actually commented on my post. So one of the two things happened recently because that number looked like a error to me when I looked at LinkedIn today. We wrote a book called Post Every Day about getting your opinion out there, your voice out there. And so getting your voice out on LinkedIn can be as simple as finding something that people find value in and posting about it. So I have 188,000 impressions. You'll see that it went from thousands, spiked to 143,000 on June 9th. I must not have paid attention to this in the last few days. And then it's kind of leveled off at 188,000 here yesterday, and it's already switched to tomorrow from an analytics perspective. But what I can look at here is what happened with this post. And so it's easy for me to see from a post every day perspective that I had one post that has reached thousands of users, given me lots of reactions, 4 comments. And so here I can see who those comments are from. And then this might help me figure out what has happened from a standpoint of the post. But sometimes you're just left wondering, like, how did this many people find this particular post? So we have analytics and tools, and we can see who's viewed my profile, how many followers I have, search appearances, newsletter posts, and other things that I've put out there. So something went immediately viral within the last 3 days, and that's a good thing for me with these Logi posts. I have not found this same formula, if you will, or luck with my YouTube channel. So those numbers are not typical for me, but every once in a while I get a pleasant surprise out of my LinkedIn network. So thank you everybody that stopped by, whether you're watching a Logitech preview, whether you're watching information about other videos or information that I post. I have a couple newsletters on LinkedIn that I produce. And I just met a top voice, yet another top voice on LinkedIn. I'll meet another top voice in recent LinkedIn top voice on the 23rd in Chicago, because one of my friends from Microsoft is coming to speak at a user group that I attend regularly in Chicago. He's super, super popular, so I'm sure it's going to be a sold out event at Microsoft on June 23rd. I'm going to make sure some specific people in my network get the invite and the information about that before I put it out publicly. And with this new notoriety on my profile, the chances of people seeing what I post probably go up for the next couple of weeks. So I will use that sparingly, and with great power comes great responsibility, right? So it doesn't look like it's set up my headset just yet, which is interesting. If I go ahead and turn on the Bluetooth pairing, there's my Logi Zone Wireless 2 headset. I can connect it, and then we can find out if it's switched over. It's saying not connected. That's interesting. So it's connecting and then it's not connecting. I'll have to troubleshoot that too. Like I said, I'm running a lot of beta software, so it could be any of the software I'm running that's causing all sorts of issues for me. I'm still connected wired to the headset, so that could be the other thing that's kind of causing an issue. Let's see if that's it. Nope, it's looking like it's having some kind of headache connecting to my headset. But it looked like audio's working fine and video's working fine. And your preview of the MX mouse, MX Master 4 mouse from Logitech, is almost complete here, folks. So this thumb pad over here on the left side is where I get the haptic feedback on the mouse, and the info about such features is something that I can share once again. Let's bring up PowerPoint here. That's the MX mouse. And then let's go ahead back to the MX Master 4 here. So this is the mouse that I'm using. I don't remember if it lets me zoom in. It does not. It looks like both of my scroll wheels are for moving around. I can zoom in, however, by using Control+. So I'm getting the feedback on this little thumb pad to the left of my mouse. .8K DPI tracking, works on glass, stain resistance. Now that I'm zoomed in, I can scroll around. It looks like scroll back and forth or up and down. So I get that Type-C bolt connector. And I set that down. Where did I set that down? Pulled it out and I put it somewhere. Did I plug it into something? Well, I'll find it before I leave work here, because I don't recall what I plugged it into now. I don't think I plugged it into this. There it is. Here it is, folks. So the Type-C connector is right here. And I have a Type-C charger on the MX4, so I was thinking I might just use that as my place to dongle up the C connector when it's not in use, so I don't lose it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this whirlwind tour of the MX Master 4 mouse for business. And it's been a great mouse to check out. Thank you, Logitech luminaries. And that's it for me.